Hello everybody, this is Toyzaros, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Legacy United. This is Voyager class Origin Wheeljack figure. So we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We can see how his blast shield doubles up as a track and indeed I suppose a sort of flight pack. We can then of course see how Bumblebee fits into the back of him in his alternate mode and see how he looks with Origin's Jazz as well. And then of course see how he looks in displays compared to some of the other Wheeljack figures that have been released since Generation 1. So as you can see, loads to get through this video, so as I pop all these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, and also to thank In Demand Toys in the UK, which is where this came from. And let's be honest, for people like myself who collect Generation 1, this is the most anticipated figure of the year for myself. It looks amazing. I do appreciate that he's got some chunky legs, but we'll see them in person in a second. The packaging is fantastic. There's brilliant bust of Wheeljack there, and of course him totally on that side. So let's just get the box open and have a look at him. So I'm going to open him up from the bottom because it should be that little bit easier. I suppose this is just, as I say, this is one of them figures that perhaps as a child growing up we never thought that we'd ever see, and then all of a sudden not only have we got him, but we've had Bumblebee, we've already had Jazz, and I suppose all we actually would really like now is maybe one of the really pointy Tetrajets. Wow, that is a huge amount of packaging for a figure that, to be honest, isn't the biggest. Look at all the space there. I think it's just to fit the track in. There's the drill bits on the front. There's his blaster, and as confirmed, there are his chunky, very chunky looking legs. Right, I need to set him free from there and come straight back to you. So as I'm setting him free, there's just something I want to make you aware of before you do it yourself. There is actually tie wraps at the back over this, which you can't really see around that side. So just be aware of that. Otherwise, you'll probably end up doing what I very, very nearly did. And that was just pulling him out and, of course, taking the whole backpack off. Now, the whole backpack, by the looks of it, looks that we now fold it carefully up and it should fit through there, which it does. But yeah, just be aware guys that there is an additional tie wrap that you can't see on the front, and it is around the back. I might as well just carry on with this because there he is. This is obviously not, I suppose, what he's supposed to look like. What I do with my videos is this is going to be some first impressions. We'll then have a look at the alternate mode, and then we'll come back for the robot mode because there's bound to be something that I've missed because I've just took him from the box. There's the two drill bits as well that were attached in the bottom of the box, and there is his single solitary blaster. The track looks really good. It is the translucent colour. There's a little bit of a mark on there, I don't know why. There's some bits of detail inside it, I don't know if you can see, and it looks like it's going to fold over. Yeah, as we expect, that's going to be the blast shield, and I'm going to work out, as I say, how everything all goes, and I'll be showing you that later on. With regards to the actual figure though, the legs are obviously just as big in person as they do look in the photos. I know a lot of people don't really like the translucent plastic in the window, but I think that really works. The head sculpt is great. That is, of course, Wheeljack as we know he looks. Nothing like, obviously, what Bayverse had him looking like. He will spin all the way around. He will look up and down very slightly. The wings obviously move independently. They're not very big at all. The arms are going to come out to give you a T. They're going to go around, but you're going to definitely have to just slightly move them away from all of that kibble. But you can see there's a swivel at the shoulder. There is a bicep flexion. The wrist does actually swivel as well by the looks of that. So full articulation in the arms and the shoulders. No other movement there at all. The waist will spin around, and even with all this, it is unrestricted. I mean, that's a huge backpack. Look at it. So it is all unrestricted. The legs will kick up to the front. Ooh, kick near enough the splits, but again, obviously we can understand why it's getting caught. They will go out to the side. This skirt, does it move? No, the whole thing moves. Swivel underneath, swivel at the top of the thigh, knee bend, and of course ankle tilt and rock. Autobot logo there looks great, and again, I think as weird as it's going to sound, this one, funnily enough, is probably going to be all about that alternate mode. So we've got Bumblebee in his origin mode ready. Let's come back very quickly and have a look at him in his alternate mode. So we're back and he's in his alternate mode, and we'll talk about that in a second, but just quick apologies, no transformation process on this video. Main reason is to keep the length of the video down and not to spoil it for people who don't want to see it. If you do want to see it, a tutorial is uploading as we speak, so you can watch it at your leisure, and if you don't want to see it, you don't have to. So there it is, and I'm sure you can pretty much guess a lot of it was just all folding out from the legs. It is really just a big empty shell. I'm quite nervous to put any pressure around the sides for the fear that all of the panels will fold in, and you'll see what I mean in a second. From the underside you can sort of tell obviously that was the back of his head, and the chest is folded out. You need to fold the chest out because this will now give you the illusion that when you rest it on the track that it is of course hovering, which it definitely does work. And again, I think it looks great. I know people aren't a fan of the translucent windows, they really work, and I think for this it's important so you can see Bumblebee in the back. We've got the drill bits here which came of course in the packaging, so we're going to attach them. They fit on, they look nice, and then we can attach this as well, his blaster. And then another thing which we all know about, but for some reason it's not in the instructions, we can then take the orange rods from of course Origin Bumblebee, from of course the original episode, and you can attach these either side via these slots and cutouts there. So that is great. So of course you've got, let's just pop him there like so, let's pop Bumblebee there, and indeed let's just pop Origin Jazz there for a second. Right, let's have a quick look at them from above. There you go, they do look really good together. Right, let's have a look at what else we can do with Wheeljack, because of course one of the main reasons, I suppose the main selling features, is the fact that we can attach, or not attach, we can put Bumblebee in the back. So let's take the rods off, obviously, remove this, and then you will see now what I mean about being perhaps a little bit apprehensive to put too much pressure on it. What you have to do is you have to lift this up, and when you lift this up, there you go, that'll fold all the way back. There you can see, there's his legs all sprayed out, and everything folded into position. The back bit now, of course, does fold out as well. And we've got Bumblebee here, because funnily enough, this isn't in the instructions, and I don't know why. Right, if anybody else's Bumblebee's a bit like mine, you've got a hole there so it doesn't fold over and completely come off. So what we're looking to do is fold these side panels in, fold that over, and then what we should have here is this should, he says should, fit into the back. There we go, like so. This will now fold over, and you can see again where everything's got to pretty much tab in. Let's fold the doors up just a teensy bit of pressure to get them on the underside of that, and close it up. And there you go. It's so good. It really is so good. You've got to keep them. Yeah, you've got to have the window screens in this so you can see that. I know people don't like it, and as I said, no, a lot of people like the painted windows on the, you know, the updated versions of the figures, even on Jazz, etc. But you've got to have the translucent windows for that, because it looks brilliant and it works. It works really well. There's one other thing to do which I've not had a go yet, so let's hope this works as easy as that. This looks like it folds around, or have I got to change it? I think I've got to change it round looking at the picture. So it looks like you can disconnect these. Let's have a go. So we've got the bit on the front, and then it looks like these are going to panel in slightly differently. So what I'm going to do, oh no, I was just going to quickly do it off screen, but it looks like it's going to work anyway for me. Yep, this is how it goes. You can see I'm just copying this image in at the back there. So let's see if this works, and this I suppose will be the full look for him. I think all we're waiting for now, let's be honest, with these figures is a real pointy Tetrajet. The Siege ones were fantastic, I did really like them, but I think just, is this going to slot down? Yep, there you go. There's probably a way that it fits perfectly. Is it inside there? There we go. There's the blast shield that's on it. Oh, mine's just come a little bit loose. That's the last bit I think that we need to see on it. I don't really think I was going to say, I don't really think there's much more to see with the alternate mode. I am just going to very quickly check. As I said, in the instructions for alternate mode, no, it looks like it just rests on, to be honest. There's no tabs you can see there. And that's, of course, the track which we've done. You can see what I mean about no Bumblebee in the back either. There is the shield. I don't think I'd rather use it, to be honest, I think, as what's the word I'm after? Yeah, as the road. I think it looks way better as a road, but it does fit on there like so, and it is yeah, that's better. It's just supposed to rest on the top. Not much more to say about this particular mode. Let's just show you again very quickly. We will take this out, slot this out of the back of him, and then, as I say, you can pretty much make out where this is all going to go, and indeed hold together. Right, so that's the alternate mode looked at. We're going to come back for the final time in the robot mode, see how we can attach all of the parts with him, and see how he looks with some other figures as well. Okay then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode. I think this is going to be the way I'm going to be displaying him, even though obviously he's all about, let's be honest, I think he's pretty much all about really that Cybertronian mode. However, it's I know that a lot of people will perhaps not be too fond of it, because they will refer to him as, let's be honest, what he is. He's a bit of a panel former, but I mean, that's just, I suppose, the way it is. We can attach these little bits as well at the back. I'm just showing you where you can put the rest of the parts if you wanted to, like so. You could also put the blaster at the back, but I don't know why you'd want to. You'd probably just want to pop it either in his hand, or you can see it goes over the shoulder as well. Let's see how they've got it on the actual stock image. Oh no, they've put it in his hand on the stock image, which I wasn't thinking they would have, to be fair. This I've kept exactly the same. So obviously once you've set it up for the windshield, if you want, that's exactly as it's going to be when he attaches to the back. There's two cutouts either side there, and then you've got two large tabs here. I've not done this yet, but I've just seen, well, you can work it out, to be fair. You can work out that that is where that is going to go. And to be honest, I don't even know, actually. I don't know what to think. I was thinking when I saw the images that it makes him look all right. But again, in hand, in person, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think it just looks perhaps a little bit, I don't know, a little bit strange. Overall, though, it's great. It is really good. It's good that we get, you know, to actually do this. I think the fact that they've managed to get the robot modes pretty much looking like what you would expect them to look, obviously, from their G1 version. So obviously with Jazz, they gave him like a car sort of chest. With Wheeljack, they've sort of done something very similar. Why is he not standing up properly? It'll be the toes, but you know what I mean. So obviously they had the alternate Cybertronian vehicle modes, but obviously with the robots, they've done a pretty good job of, I was going to say tidying it all away, but with him, obviously he was a huge, and he is a huge panel former, but I don't think it's still, I don't think it's in the world. I think it works. You can, of course, if you wanted to, because of the way that it transforms, you could still keep these on him if you wanted to. That's just completely up to yourselves, but it's nice that we've got this trilogy. I suppose we've sort of got Soundwave already with the fan-made mode into the lamppost from Siege, but whether we get him or not would be great. I think we need obviously a different colour, if we're being honest. Right, let's just bring in a few different Wheeljacks then. So we've got his original Generation 1 self, like so. We've got, before we go to all the Kingdom and Siege, we've got a Generations version of him from 2010, and then I might as well go with the newest version of him right there as well. So we've got, in fact, it probably should be, if we're being, I mean, totally correct, it should be that way around, shouldn't it? So of course we've got Cybertronian, then we've got G1 and upwards. So we've got a complete array, and it's great, as I say, to have such a main character. I suppose a brilliant choice for him. I really don't have much more to say about him. He has surprised me overly. I do think he's good. As I say, people negatives that people are going to look at, they're going to look at the fact that he's a panel former, he is a great big box, etc. But for playability and for fun, and let's be honest, that's what these are, they're toys at the end of the day. You can do quite a bit of stuff with the road, with the flight, with whatever you want to call it on the back, the blast shield, and of course you can put Bumblebee inside him. So that's all I've pretty much got to say about it. It is great. Maybe I'll look back on it differently in a couple of days, I don't know, but for now I think he looks great. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Take care.